on his home.
So, having done investigations like this where you are trying to essentially build a time machine, right? You're trying to go back because you don't have a direct witness. You don't have a fingerprint that comes right back to somebody. You got to go into things like the digital dust that people leave, that kind of stuff. And we've already seen good example of that in the way they were able to reconstruct the video. Sure. So if I had to guess, and I don't know, I want to be clear, but I would think it's some combination of something relative to his car. Reportedly, he's a DoorDash driver. So I would think that they got somehow or other some travel in the area that maybe pointed them. And also, I would think something off of the digital world. Maybe he's hitting a particular server. Maybe he did a search or something that led them to believe this person had an unusual interest in Nancy Guthrie. So some combination of all of those things led them to the idea that, okay, that car is of interest to us, because remember, they did the apprehension during a car stop.
Yeah, because he did mention in an interview.
If he's a casual burglar, which a lot of us at first thought, like maybe this is a burglary gone bad, he's going in with a loaded backpack. You don't do that. You go in with an empty backpack if you're going to steal a bunch of stuff and come out with the backpack full. So you got to say to yourself, what's in that backpack that's so full that he's going into that residence planning to do?
Yeah, we initially thought it was.
Now, is there one moment from season 1 that lives rent-free in your mind?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you meant by that. Yeah, that. Of course. We're going to get more of that in season 2?
Yeah.
Do you know who Savannah Guthrie is?
No.
Nothing.
I don't follow the news.
Right.
I don't watch.
You don't watch the Today Show?
No.
So this was a complete shock.
It was.
What kind of questions were they asking you?
Nothing. They didn't ask me no questions.
So they just said,
nothing. They
so
just sat me in the car. They investigated my car and this man, and that's it. They didn't ask me no questions, no nothing.
Did you get the other car back? Or they still have it?
No, it's right there.
Oh, they gave.
I think that Freddie, even when he is upset with her, is always kind to her. He always treats her with respect. He is always rooting for her, and he doesn't ask for credit for it either. Yeah. So that is something that I think is a level of stability and predictability that Adriana doesn't really get anywhere else in her life, especially with her relationship with her friends and her family. And so I think that is a piece that's very important. I also think her time with Freddie was really the last time that she was truly happy, right? Her mom was still alive. She didn't have all this sense of responsibility. And so I think there is at least a tint on which her history with Freddie colors how she feels about him in this moment.
That nostalgia is very, very important. Of course, how could it not be?
That's Norway's Sturla Holm Lagride, going out on a limb on live TV after winning bronze in the men's 20K biathlon on Tuesday. The 28-year-old telling the Norwegian Broadcasting Corporation he had an affair. When he revealed it to his girlfriend last week, she left him.
That's all I've been thinking about for a week. And it's been the worst week of my life. But I only have eyes for her.
Sturla adds, "My only path to the finish line is to tell her everything and put it on the table and hope that she'll still love me. I've done that for her and now the entire world."
An amateur.
Yeah, not a professional, obviously. And also, kind of low functioning, if I can say that, because think about what he does. He comes up, he looks very casual, right? He certainly doesn't seem concerned. And then he does this strange thing where he goes over, he pulls that bush out to try to cover the Nest camera. That just doesn't make sense. There's no way to anchor it there. If he had even taken a handful of dirt and smeared it on the lens, it would make more sense. What kind of thinking process is that? I'm going to pull a piece of bush out and cover this thing. So that was my first impression about his demeanor and how he's walking. He seems entirely unconcerned. But the thing that is concerning is that he's got a full backpack on the way in.
The show, a celebration of America, including Ricky and the rapper's home of Puerto Rico.
A my motherland, mi patria, Puerto Rico. Seguimos aquí.
We're celebrating music, diversity. We're celebrating everything that Latin culture has to offer, musically speaking.
We need to celebrate music. Music is what keeps us moving and inspired. So this is where we need to be right now.
Do you think this is a situation where the suspect knew Nancy, or at least cased the house to learn as much about her before taking her?
The idea that he really knew the situation intimately, hard to ascribe to that when you consider what went on with the front ring camera. The ring cameras are visible. Now, I think that he must have done some little bit of recon, and I base it on the following. When he walks up, he's keeping his head down. I think from the road, at least, he had been able to see somehow or other a Ring camera that was perched up high. She had a number of cameras, or at least his surmise there was one up there, and so he's keeping his head down. But the idea that he was intimately familiar with the location, I find hard to believe, because it is audible that he had a call at the front door relative to the Nest camera and the bush, which, I mean, if he knew about that, one piece of duct tape and that handles that. So I have a hard time thinking that he was that familiar with the location.